Okay, this is going to extend in my other lawsuit. ENBRIDGE. This extends to TD Bank, RBC, Scotiabank, and BMO. And to your Honorable Judge for the Court of Appeal in Fredericton. I am writing this proposal to Honorable Judges to bring to your attention the civil lawsuit I am initiating against these banks. The legal action is not only about seeking justice for myself, but also holding the bank accountable for its failure to prioritize renewable energy initiatives, contribute to the goals of the Paris Agreement. For years, I have been working tirelessly to develop and promote renewable energy sources and sustainable business practices. My technology and businesses align with the obligations under the Paris Agreement, and I have taken numerous actions to reduce the carbon footprint of my operations and contribute positively to a more sustainable future. Despite my efforts, TD Bank has continued to support and invest in renewable energy, creating a challenging business environment for me to hinder my ability to grow my business. So, between these banks, I'm pursuing legal action for $100 billion each, since they $500 billion invested into my technology behind my back. They have not taken accountability for what they've done to me, asking for 1/5 of the price for what they've done to me and invested behind my back. TD Bank's failure to support these carbon neutral projects have fulfilled their obligations under the Paris Agreement. The lawsuit is about more than just seeking compensation. It's about sending a message that neglecting to support renewable energy initiatives and sustainable business practices is not acceptable. We have a responsibility to work together to create a more sustainable future for those in future generations. I hope that TD Bank will take and other banks this opportunity to reassess their priorities and start making better choices for the people and the planet. It's time for them to fulfill their obligations under the Paris Agreement and support renewable energy initiatives that will contribute to a more sustainable future for all. I've invested in energy efficient technology, conducted to comprehensive assessments of my business footprint, worked with sustainable supply chain practices, supported clean energy initiatives, activated policy engagement, and participated in carbon offset programs. Additionally, integrated renewable energy sources such as solar, wind, electric, and biomass energy to my technology and business operations. My company also aims to provide sustainable solutions such as building new power plant stations and battery stations for offering wallets with custom communication systems, as well as greenhouse systems for your food production, the total customer communication system internationally combined to use renewable energy sources as like antenna satellite communications, also using fiber optic to help aid these initiatives. My lawsuit against banks is meant to bring attention to the bank's neglect of renewable energy initiatives and seek justice for fair treatment of sustainable business practices and neglect the government in advancing the goals of the Paris Agreement. The lawsuit is about making policy changes for the future. I am committed to taking action to ensure that people, everyone, including yourself, receives the respect and compensation to help support our families, contribute to environmentally sustainable and efficient green energy transitions. I'm supporting this matter. I ask that you carefully consider the impact of this lawsuit and this add-on because it's related to ENBRIDGE lawsuit. So this is adding on to the suit. Could have advancing renewable energy initiatives and contributing to a greener, more sustainable future. Thank you for your attention. Really, Kevin Stockford. As a small business owner and innovator in renewable energy sector, I am announcing a civil lawsuit against these banks for neglecting to support and advance technology and business operations. This civil action is not only seeking justice for myself, but also holding the bank accountable for its failure to prioritize our business initiatives and contribute to the goals of the Paris Agreement. For years, I've worked closely to develop and promote renewable energy sources and sustainable practices throughout my high school career as well, making dreams and everything that's been taken from me through laws and people that my technology and business align with the obligations under the Paris Agreement. I've taken actions to reduce the carbon footprint of my operations, contribute positively to a sustainable future. Despite my efforts, the bank has neglected to support and invest in the technology I've created in that they're going ahead with work without permission, creating a challenging business environment for me and hindering my ability to grow my business when I have legal certificates that they owe money. I have invested in energy efficient technology, conducted a comprehensive assessment of my business's carbon footprint, worked with sustainable supplies, business practices, supported clean energy and policy engagement, and participated in carbon offset programs. By failing to prioritize and invest in renewable energy, the bank has made it difficult for me to compete and thrive in the market. Their policies and decisions have favored traditional fossil industries, created an uneven playing field, and the advance of renewable energy initiatives when I'm probably not the only person that's took $1 million business plan to the bank and have taken from them through government channels, which is highly against the law. It's no conflict of interest. That's in pirating off other people's hard work. Pursuing legal action to seek $100 billion in compensation for each bank's failure to support these carbon neutral projects and their obligations under the Paris Agreement. These lawsuits are not only about seeking justice for myself, but also about being accountable for the neglect in renewable energy and the impact it has had on my business and personal life. It's time for these banks to start making better choices for the people. Since 2017, trying to push the proper way to operate pipelines as a green energy, renewable energy source. It's about how the project, not the person's bad credit. So they got to go by the person's credit on their business, not by what their score is. You got to go by what the value is to the business, what it brings to society, to the bank as a whole, and help adjust proper numbers, and not just say they got a business that's not going to strive in the industry because they're willing to take it over without them recognizing what's going on. It's time for the banks to start making better choices with people. The banks neglecting renewable energy initiatives is unacceptable. I am committed to taking action to ensure everyone, including the Honorable Judge, receives respect and compensation we deserve, help support our families, and contribute to environmentally sustainable green energy transition. I have been forced to take legal action to defend my business interests and hold government and banks accountable for their failure. I'm seeking justice for the fair treatment and sustainable business and the neglect of both banks and the government in advancing goals in the Paris Agreement that most of every country signed. So my technology falls under that. Should be covered under international law that my technology is promoted through the World Bank. This law is more about just seeking competition. It's about sending a message neglecting to support renewable energy. Sustainable business practices is acceptable. We all have a responsibility to work to a more sustainable future for ourselves and future generations. I hope that TD Bank and other banks will take the opportunity to reassess their priorities and start making better choices for people on the planet. Them to fulfill their obligations under the Paris Agreement, support renewable energy initiatives that will contribute to a more sustainable future for all. Claim this statement. Claim this as my lawsuit as my IT formula kit platform, so we don't confuse ownership rights. This is to better the environment and to help people in need. Is dollar signs to make sure people are comfortable living is my advantage. The capacity of all persons who are parties to this proceeding on the plaintiff should have Stockford versus banks and other banks. Mention start of this video. Defendant TD Bank, RBC, CIBC, SCOTIA, RBC and BMO. The place of residence here in Crown and where this statement of claim is to be served is at New Brunswick without leave, which is alleged to be such service is permitted. This will yield to the Queen's Bench in Fredericton. Add on to my lawsuit against ENBRIDGE Inc. because this is the same neglecting I've been getting from them. So it's probably involved with the same entities that are making it impossible for me to even have a bank account. Each allegation material fact relied upon to substantiate this claim. I have been officially announced, and I am opening a civil lawsuit against these banks for stole their privileges in the renewable energy. We need room to grow. They're not taking notice to the world dollar into that will cap fuel and groceries that will leave next to nothing for waste, prioritizing for climate change, helping feed hungry mouths, gives people a home that balances the as a business owner, an innovator in power AI technology for environmental monitoring systems. I have not automatically protected or compensated for my contributions to fight against climate change. Their actions is allowing the Prime Minister to go against the Bank of Canada and continuously printing when it can be brought to people's attention and a lawsuit involved to have our states and country in Carleton County in a ridiculous position, and I won't stand idly by while my is disregarded. The bank have put me behind since 2018, since I brought everything to attention with my high school business plans as well, and powering on all my business initiatives, being part of educational AI systems and being an owner in that in a career. turning down business matters. They're supposed to be listed as environmentally friendly, but making any sort of engagements on activities work very hard to bring RAI to the table. And under the human rights that if regarded to clean energy, by law they're supposed to be helping me pursue this goal, but they are making investments behind my back and making profit behind my back where they don't want to see me at the bank because they don't want to have to admit they've done me wrong. So they turned me away and all my related practices. CIBC has put me behind business related matters. They're supposed to be listed as environmentally friendly, but not making any sort of engagement on activities work hard to bring power AI. As I've been in touch with numerous times about solutions to get pipelines online safely implemented, and my efforts to seek assistance have been fruitless. It is time for me to seek justice through legal action channels. So once they didn't take the initiative to protect my technology, I wouldn't trust sharing other initial programs of technology without being some sort of legal agreement in place for them to be allowed to use the technology, because they're allowing their organizations projects they have initiated and that are sent to them in documents and PDFs to all the banks of what I own, what they owe me, and they have failed to provide me the goods and services that I deserve for the work I've put in. My cutting edge plans will allow other companies with my money swindle my signs and part of my life. I work very hard commercializing other people make fraudulent activity behind my back. My technology is utilized in other countries, yet I have not properly compensated or protected as a company. International concerns that fall on the Paris Agreement and the EU, and Canada has some not of this to continue for them to not prioritize in this technology plan for the future. They are planning behind my back, and they weren't very happy. I found out what was really going on as a young entrepreneur and a young programmer for greening the environment and having programs in place to reduce the greenhouse emissions and not get ignored while other countries and AI know that my technology is fighting for while they disregard the Green Energy and Safety Act and other future products and services which they have promised to protect and pursue over the years, which they have and didn't, and now ignore real major solutions that will help people. Now that's a problem. They're supposed to be safeguarding to our financial securities, helping pursue ongoing projects, and protecting research and development and design that have taken the liberties to charge the people NSF fees that can't afford bills. They're supposed to be charging people, not charging them NSF fees when they can't afford a sandwich. Well, that's kind of getting rich off the poor. You must. If people lose out on their meals they can afford when stockholders have billions that have the government, the public money, and privately invested behind our back to the banking sector. Highly illegal dealing with the public's money that way and gambling with the public's money. They have billions of dollars not contributing to renewable energy products and programs, leading us to starvation, homelessness, and they're only worried about their own pocket. And it's not good that they're doing this because it's making an unbalanced budget for the whole economy and making a powerhouse when they're taking people's rights away that don't even understand the stock that should have the rights to be invested into this technology and to have rights to know how this banking sector works that you don't learn in high school. We should be teaching this into educational systems that smart investing when you're young will help you when you're old, not just live paycheck to paycheck your whole life that we're taught in school, because that's not the proper way to make a living. You have to invest into your own life in technology to be able to strive and to support yourself when it comes to hard times. We are now homeless due to this inflation where the rich get richer and the poor don't have a chance to recapitalize on the debt they're actually putting us in and allowing overprinting money uncontrollably, leaving the regular people hanging outside grocery stores in tents waiting on something to eat when grocery stores actually combine the food when they throw it out so they don't so people can't even get a loaf of bread, overprice it until the due date. That's because they're not pricing on the groceries and their insurance claims off the wasted food products that they go wasted on their shelves, trying to sell it at a lower price where it could have fed a hungry mouth. And that's a little greedy and get rich schemes where they use insurance companies to back up their business and not actually help the public's interest to make sure they're supported in the best possible way. Instead of throwing it away, it could have been consumed with the approach. It's actually being very selfish, them not introducing our technology to the grocery stores and digitally marking it down as it goes bad. When we have clear picture of bringing in the new world dollar that will balance the budget with GPS, item location, and purchasing geographical offline wallets that protect your assets and businesses for a power AI app that will be banks, so our data is actually in our bank, and we can actually do a business plan and get it evaluated properly for AI technology. So if your business is actually worth pursuing, and to know what your value is and what you should be getting as a loan for your business to start up, to be properly assessed on, not judged on life's work, where they have to recognize that you have done all this hard work, and that comes along with everybody being done, because it's not right that these governments think they can just and take over somebody's business that they put their whole life into, and then they see 3 years down the road that they're pursuing this business that they worked their whole life for. Doesn't make them want that. It makes them want to work, because everything they work for is put into somebody else's control without their recognition. When we have a clear picture of bringing in the new world digitalized dollar, explain, they need to make smarter moves, as we are a main in the smart grid for power plants and battery stations with renewable energy homes, technologies for people to sustain themselves, give us crops for winter periods where people can't afford over the winter months. It may be too far or too cold to walk. It'd be good for them to have fresh crops on the go during these times. That's beneficial to the stations. We plan to provide, as we are showcasing, that's our responsibility, taking care. So instead of having native reserves, we would have like colonies for people, have like a full farm to produce off renewable energy that takes care of the whole family that's being provided for a certain area. That's greenhouse renewable energy. Uh, yearly, yearly crops out of that. Uh, and it generates growth, and it helps people starve on the street where they're confused and wondering why their whole life went downhill, because we would help them in difficult times, which isn't fair to people that's been through difficult times. They should not be judged for those difficult times, for how they have been treated. To get them back on their feet, they still deserve to have a home and a meal a day that generates growth. Where these banks have pushed the bank because I made a billionaire project on housing the homeless, so they had a home, and they turned away for that because the renewable energy pay for the cost of their living. It's not free energy, that's paying back to supply and demand, helping the transition to electric vehicles, making homes infrastructure, energy utilities, and hydroelectric plants to like battery stations that save a lot of money on hydroelectricity and solar electricity. All can be conducted right off grid, so they don't even need the hydro poles. But it's good to have the hydro poles because they need the hydro energy. It's just the way it works. If they have a breakdown, then you have backup. Like, that's the way it should be. Right now, technically, nobody has a backup if they all run out of power. We should have these batteries installed in our homes so we can unplug the power facilities off hydro poles. You can unplug them, plug them back in, charge them back up. Just doing that will save 30% a month operating off batteries. That's not technology installed that's helping with the growth of our economy. That's lying, where they're bullying people out of the banks because they think they don't have a right to have money because they're poor. They're excited and they're accused pitiful by not perceiving this. Very much ignorant, and to the point been shoved out the door for trying to make them understand it's a smart move for everyone's best interest. Shows the fact that they don't care about people's health and safety or a roof over their head, or not. They're just really invested into the insurance companies and rental facilities because they make the money, and they're not concerned about people's long lasting living arrangements. They're more concerned about the quick dollar. That's a high price. That's making it so nobody has a place to live. They're to be a solution provider, and they're not making a good choice by shoving me out the door and shoving me under the rug by helping me collaborate and grow, as we are an organization that takes great pride in our work. By them making someone's last meal really shows they don't care about struggling families and SFBs. It's taking away from hungry kids and people that was relying on the bank for them to be there for them during hard times. They have, heaven's sakes, don't care if we get a steak. more concerned about taking from the poor and giving it to the rich. We, the people, don't have operations. We have to, we're taking down the big wigs and putting into action that's going to help everybody, not just the rich. That contributes to a global we are facing. We are told to work it out on our own, on our, when there is a solution presented, the bank ignores it and moves on with the poor. Banking matters, favoring the larger profits in the bank, taking from the people who have very minimal, where the bankers thinks my plan isn't enough to hinder to let their clients who is damaging the environment and the society we live in is okay with them. Our new way of life, technology has potential. In other words, the right calculations that's beneficial for everyone of all classes to be accepted when they're acting very racist towards my company because they know it can grow to help others and be self-sufficient, beneficial that brings us fruits. They could actually be making positive changes, but they're just protecting other stakeholders to diverse climate change initiatives when it's very important to make these decisions to a revolution. This isn't a game to play with people's lives, distressing people's lives. People are trying to convert to green energy solutions. The bank is roadblocking new cutting edge technologies that's put in front of other assets that is real life changing. We are all facing and they're ignoring the important factors that need to be put in place. They're trying to ignore the situation. Everything is okay when it's not. It's far from okay. It's becoming a very rushed society, and when we need to learn to slow down before we burn ourselves out, and this starts with us. We are key holders to the new way of life. We're contributing to a new society. We can make positive changes that benefits us all with a lifetime savings plan taking action. I will be pursuing legal action to ensure everybody, including you, Honorable Judge, receives the respect and compensation we deserve to support our families and contribute to environmentally efficient green energy transition, taking pride in the community, working together to bring back the way we used to live without stress and affordable prices, bringing these projects to life to solve more opportunities of freedom. The plaintiffs claim $100 billion that's to put us online and in commission. That's real systematic design, my personal information, data, bank, technology, designs, and programs, especially the app recognizer designed to protect people's intellectual property. The regulation systems and always copycat anybody, and this prevents big old lawsuits where people are claiming that they're on this and they own that when it can be come to agree that it's been softwared and put into initiative their way or their business or whatever they have for assets and needs. This will protect their businesses and help them strive and to become more innovative in the world we live in, because everything evolves around technology that brings us solutions to everyday problems. Everything my organization has designed and programmed will be solved for the public's best interest to help pursue with daily living objectives, making the way of life we live contribute to climate change initiatives that will eventually be a normal day of life for us. This will slow down the world. This will cool down the earth. That's slowing down climate change. It's seeming to be a problem to have an affordable way of life with a reasonable price on store shelves, capping fuel prices to prevent these ongoing issues so everyone gets to eat properly is a reasonable approach at a new and improved renewable lifestyle. I have started with the code of conduct to prevent for green energy law uh, because that's set aside for the military because they deserve to run things that are explosive. That's just how society is. If you're going to operate something highly explosive, you should be highly specialized in that energy sector job profile that this falls under. Would be NASA or a chemical company. You need to be classified and unclassified for the recovery projects and recycling projects for the pipelines to make sure that there is no spillage and pipelines exploding. It's a very big achievement for myself, a 32-year-old man, where I hardly got any recognition for the work that I put in for my achievements and awards going into somebody else's hands. I started with this conduct, and it's to help to balance the network of the banks and to help promote sustainable energy so we're not wasting so much. And when you're not wasting, you're actually saving. And when the bank's saving, everybody's making money, not being pushed and told that they're worthless and that they deserve to have nothing when you have the right to whatever you have written on paper by law is not copyright infringement. I'm pretty extinct with my technology and rights. I'm sending a message for all the Canadians that have been through and have been facing challenges together for quite some time now, and it's time the banks start making better choices for the people since 2017, trying to push the proper way to operate pipelines, energy, renewable energy source. It's a very important lesson that the banks have to learn. All about the bad credit the bank is forcing on people by not making positive changes. It's not bad credit holding up projects. It's the bank's fault for not contributing to society's best interest to bring more income for everyone. It's about how the project, not the person's bad credit rating, should be rated and the project be credited in another credit rating for what they have accomplished. What the person is trying to do for society, making policy changes with the challenges that we are facing, for the individuals that work for the bankers to have good, honest living. They're living in a way we could be doing a lot better than what we're doing. Now they neglect positive initiatives and implementations that need to be given attention. They're being selfish, being inhumane renewable energy projects that we need to be that we need for the future for people that actually need help. When it's not the bank's money, it's the people's money, and they're tendering to what needs to be done, and they need to see the people work, bring things to their attention, and being turned down for doing the right thing that's computerized and makes positive change should not be ignored. If it's making an income, they should be recognized for the work they put in. If it's helping contribute to society, they should be recognized for the work they have done. We are taking a really hard hit for not contributing to climate change. We will be seeking 100 billion for each of these banks for not taking on the initiatives for these carbon neutral projects. And the technology being used behind my and they're making dollars and dollars over my head when I'm the creator to the technology, smart monitoring systems that bring it right to Canada regulator and right to the Canada Revenue Agency, placed in the bank, so nothing's getting wasted or stolen. So we're all on the same page, but we get for a return daily. So if we keep a tight budget and keep an eye on the budget, then we will have a good budget. If we let it slide for months at a time, we will see a lot of in our initiatives that were supposed to be done that weren't really getting done. So we need to be more promotive on projects and be on time and go forward and to promote projects and work very hard at producing these projects. So we're not in hard times and we're giving people homes that need a home. This energy system. They're being selfish, being inhumane is not right. Especially when I'm categorized for the work that I've put in, and I put this into my document that I sent off to the courthouse already, but I'm not sure if they took the time to read this, but I'm well aware of the agenda now. We are taking really a hit for this, so this is hurting my business, it's hurting my reputation. This is going to feed homes that are left homeless. It is a very important factor. We can actually capture and capitalize on people who are in need if they're looking after and stabilized in our renewable energy homes. They're actually making us profits. So the homeless is profiting business sector by taking care of a home we provide them, because it's energy that we're providing the grid. The energy that's supplied from these homes can be back into the grid for the transition that we're making, where we need. This could be for veterans that need homes. Like there should be no reason why they're on sidewalks going through struggles that we can understand that they've been through, which is unfair for them to be receiving this disrespect because they serve for our country. They should automatically have a home and so relieved from their missions, because they put their lives at risk for us, seen people die, probably had to kill people too, so they should be having a comfortable home to go to. So I think this should be run by war veterans for the society and the homeless to make sure that they're keeping up with their daily chores and so they have a home. Like, if you don't take care of your home, then you don't have a home now. They're going to feed hungry mouths that are homeless is a very important factor. We actually capture and capitalize on people who are in need. If they're looking after and stay their new renewable energy homes, they're actually making us profits. Like I think TD Bank is notorious for take from people. We are willing to help them capture the moment profit in the long run while they take care of our infrastructure that's conducting renewable energy. We are reasons to take pride in the success that we have planned for the carbon neutral world. We will keep engaging and enhancing and our economy for them not planning for their future, which is very unprofessional for them not to be contributing to these projects that I have to bring them income. They have went behind my back, and it is copyright infringement to take things from people that they have written down paper that has been assessed and checked for copyright infringement, which is done. We will capitalize on challenges and we will take initiative to protect self-sustainable supplying goods and services to people that it most is tender to business objectives that contribute to society by allowing people to live off the land, power support for the smart grid. If they is in our effort to a sustainable, efficient lifestyle, we are here to support the people with the new innovative designs and structure and solutions for the farmers and people in need, as we need to be building hotel dorms, contracting out and be housing locally people in affordable, sustainable homes. We are being proactive, taking advantage of the moment. The bank is left behind to a new green environment. They build a bunch of apartments and run off hydro energy. Costs us $700 a month. We can reduce that at least by 30%. Where they're wasting energy, and that could be going towards other projects and helping other people that are in need and charging vehicles and power plants. We need to be more least reductive. Mr. Stockford's technology, which is making business aligns with the goals and objectives under the Paris Agreement. They are focused on helping promote renewable resources and sustainable business practices aligned with the Paris goals, reducing greenhouse gas emissions and transitioning to a low carbon economy. TD Bank has neglected objectives to attacking policies and making decisions prioritizing fossil fuels industries over renewable energy sources that challenges business and environment companies, leading to hardship and the need for legal action, which I am doing. Specifically, the bank's failure to prioritize investment in renewable energy. This has made it difficult for businesses to compete and thrive in the market. Additionally, deregulation and for the fossil fuel industry, we have created an uneven playing field, further Stockford's ability to grow his business and contribute positively to the goals and the Paris Agreement. We can go on and on about this, how they have an initiative, how Mr. Bragnon has business died, and he has put a hinder on my business when he's supposed to be supporting me. Protected oceans and fisheries of the government of Canada, where he won't even tell me how to pursue a business and get properly paid. Would be spreading lies about me and saying that I'm something else when I'm really just a guy trying to move my forward. And they're all saying that I'm a threat because I have come forward and in the eyes and told them that they lied to me, and they got hurt their feelings or something that I caught them in a lie, that they have literally done me wrong, and my family, telling my family that I'm nothing to society, really hurts my feelings. So the next time you somebody, don't judge a book by it, because it's the inside that counts. If you think you can cover the book, make sure you got the book right to back it up, motherfuckers.